Let's get back to our guests in studio today, Jay Kopelman, Mission Within Foundation, and then, of course, Mr. Robert Gallery, Athletes for Care. I got that right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And so, I guess, Jay, let's start with you. Number one, who's Miami play this weekend?
This weekend we got Louisville.
Yeah, because I want to say the spread is like, what, 10.5 or something like that?
Yeah.
I'm taking.
I think it's come down a little.
Has it a little bit? Okay, guys, because I was going to take Miami in the points. So I just want to, we good with that? Or? Okay, all right.
Lock it into Degenerate Jake's bets.
Just want to make sure.
I think
Let's cover those bets first.
I think we've covered pretty much all year except when we got stupid at the end of the game against Florida State.
Which, look, that's a rivalry game. No shame in that. You know what I'm saying? Of course, now we realize Florida State may not be as good as we thought they were after beating Alabama in week 1. Who'd you play for when you were at Miami?
So I'll be 66 in January.
What?
And so when I went
66.
When I went to Miami,
I thought you were younger than Fred.
Bro, I thought you were my age at least. My
Lou
God.
Saban was the head coach.
So was that before or after Schnellenberger?
Right before.
Okay.
So Lou left, and spring of my freshman year, Howard came in.
Okay. So you were there right before things really started to pop off.
I graduated in 82. They won the national championship in 84.
Okay.
Like 2 of my teammates ended up at the Patriots. So
Okay.
Fred Marion was a free safety. Freddie was a year ahead of me, I think.
All right.
And then Ronnie Lepet, he was, I want to say, a year or 2 behind me.
Okay.
So you loosened the bottle. You got it loose, and then they came through in 84 and took care of business.
They did.
Now, you strike me as more of a slot receiver type of guy?
I was a defensive back.
Oh, you were a defensive back. Okay. Yeah. Safety, corner, what was your?
Free in both corners.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
I was, let's see, I was 205 at the end of my freshman year.
Okay.
Then dropped down to 195. It was a better weight for me.
Now, where are you from originally?
Originally from Pittsburgh.
So how the hell did you end up in Miami?
I want to get the hell away from my family.
Carson Beck route.
I was gonna say, fair enough, man. I totally get that. So you a Steelers fan then?
Steelers fan.
Okay.
Steelers fan, and actually grew up as a Penn State fan. And
okay.
My father was a Penn State alum, and he had season tickets to Penn State. So I started going to Penn State games when I was like 6, 7 years old.
Okay.
And just fell in love. You know, there was a kid that played quarterback at Penn State back then. His name was Chuck Burkhart.
Okay.
And so this was like in the Franco Harris, Lydell Mitchell days, even.
Okay. Well,
right?
like late 70s.
And I'm like 7 to 10 years old. All I wanted to do was play quarterback.
Okay.
So, like, I somehow got to meet Chuck Burkhart when I was a kid, right? And back then they wore these Rydell suspension helmets. So it was just a plastic shell and had some leather straps in it.
We need to bring those back.
This rubber thing in the top of it. And he, like, took the rubber thing out of it and threw it to me out of the team bus one day, and then somehow was able to get in touch with him, and he wrote me a letter.
Oh, nice.
And my father's like, you're never going to play college football. You're never going to be big enough or strong enough or fast enough. He goes, if you can be 6'2" and 210, you can play college football. And I'm like, well, I'll show you.
Yeah.
And so I got to Miami at 155 pounds.
Walked on and boom, you played all 4 years.
Good no, I did not play all 4 years.
That's all right.
No.
You were there 4 years. That's all that matters. We got one of your Penn State quarterbacks actually way back in the day, Todd Blackledge.
Yeah.
Great college quarterback, worthless professional quarterback, but he's a great commentator, so that's all that matters.
He's doing great now as a commentator.
He's a great commentator. That 84 draft, Chiefs could have taken so many different people. Dan Marino was still on the board. They went with Todd Blackledge. I digress. A little bit about ibogaine and how did you stumble across it?
Yeah, so ibogaine is a plant medicine from Equatorial Africa, from the iboga plant, and ibogaine is a molecule of that.
Okay.
It's somewhat synthesized, so you can have just that particular molecule. And as Robert alluded to earlier, it does an amazing job of restoring the brain. It has what's called neuroplasticity and neuroregenerative properties that allow you to reshape how you think, the neuroplasticity. And then, as Robert mentioned, I think earlier, about the neuroregenerative properties that will actually regrow white matter in the brain. So Robert's had brain scan.
Yeah.
We're doing a study with UT Austin where we're sending SEALs through, and they're getting their brain scanned before and then after the ibogaine treatment. So it has these tremendous properties, but it also, while you're in the experience, it's allowing you to see your life, if that's what it shows you, and kind of help lead you in a new direction, help you to realize where the mistakes have been, or show you some of the trauma that you've been through. And not everyone's experience is the same. It's completely different.
So hold just real quick. So when you say the mistakes you made, like, what do you mean it can help you?
Before you answer his question, more tangible one, is this, how do you digest something? Do you eat something? How do you get this in your body, and how long does it last? And then you can answer Fred's question.
So when you go to a retreat, like a place like the Mission Within, you get the ibogaine in capsule form.
Okay.
And it's body weight based, so they probably had to give Robert a whole lot of it. I got a little tiny amount.
Yeah. We'll split one.
And that would do it. And so it was 2 capsules. You just drink them with water.
Okay.
And it takes about 30 minutes for it to kick in.
Yeah.
And then the experience can last, mine lasted 12 hours.
What?
There are people who've lasted a little less, a little more, but 12 hours is about the average.
So what is it? I mean, look, I mean, full disclosure, I've done mushrooms. So what, and I was, 4, 5, 6 hours, depending upon, how many I took. But explain what it's like when you take the ibogaine.
Yeah. So, like I said, everybody's journey is different.
Sure.
And for me, I was just lying there. They put an eye shade on, and you're listening to Bluetooth headphones. There's a 27-hour curated soundtrack they play for you the whole time. And
can you change the playlist?
You cannot change the playlist.
Dang.
It just plays.
So, like, what are we listening to here?
You're listening to all kinds of
bird
different
sounds,
stuff. It's
running water,
all of the above, drums, like native music.
Yeah.
I remember coming out of it and hearing Louis Armstrong singing "It's a Beautiful World." What a beautiful world!
Now, were you dreaming that, or were they actually?
No,
playing
that
the
was
music?
actually the music that I heard. Yeah, which was really fitting, because afterward it was a beautiful world.
Yeah.
And when you ask about, like, what are the things you've done wrong, or what are the things you see, like, some people see their entire life just on a loop for the whole time, right? For me, like, probably the most profound thing that I gained from it was seeing my son. Every time I saw him, as he got closer and closer, he's wearing a clown mask, so I could never see his face. And it hit me afterward. Just took a few months for me to really integrate the whole experience. But what I realized was that I was an ass. Can I say that?
Well,
Asshole?
no. Well, you were an ass. Yeah.
Yeah. And I wasn't seeing him for the person he really is. Right. I was expecting somebody to be more like me. Right?
Yeah.
To do the things I do. Right. Combat sports, football, all this other stuff, to just be a mini version of me.
Yeah.
And he's not. And it's perfectly perfect.
Perfectly okay, right?
It's perfectly. I mean, he's super smart, speaks 3 languages.
Yeah.
He's a much better surfer than I am. I tell people he can ride any horse you put under him. So he has all
Well, it sounds
these.
like he was still an athletic kid, though. I mean,
He's super athletic.
So what was it, and not to get too personal, but I mean, what was it then? Because I can relate, because like I said, I had kind of that same issue with my kid, where I was like, why aren't you more aggressive? Right? Like, I wanted my son to be more aggressive. And it was something look, I'll ask Bill Self, how do I make my kid more aggressive? And he's like, yeah, good luck.
I was a psycho. I liked gunfights.
Yeah.
I enjoyed being in combat. Now I know that's
not
messed
normal.
up, right?
Yeah.
It's totally not normal. And so, why couldn't he be more like me? Why isn't he more into guns, or more into football, or combat sports, like I said? Like, I'm a competitive jiu-jitsu athlete. I compete at the world championships, and that's just not his path. Right?
So by taking this ibogaine, that helped you kind of see that, okay, this isn't. Now, let me ask you this. Had you not done the ibogaine, do you think that's something that you would have eventually,
Probably not.
Really?
Probably not.
So what? Okay, so you do. So you're in there for now. Were you in there for 12 hours too? So it lasts 12 hours, give or take. Like
Yeah.
Yep.
And so are you? I mean, and
Can
so,
you like snap out of it? Can you stop, or is it like once you're in, you're in?
It's you can take off the eye mask and see that you're in a room laying there, but it is not a recreational medicine.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's still classified as a drug, right? Schedule 1 drug, but it is not anything you want to do recreational, right? We were hooked up to EKGs because it can be hard on your heart, but you are in it. I mean, you are melted to the floor dealing with, you know, whatever it is. We all have trauma in our life, right? I grew up in a great family, right? 2 parents that are married, very loving family, right? But we all have trauma, right? A lot of the military guys have family trauma that they deal with, that they, you know, there's a cause, right? That's what causes us to either our jobs or our past trauma to treat our families a certain way, right? When you do something for so long, right? My mentality, like you, with my kids, is like after 15 years of playing football, I mean, there is no softness about, like, right? You're sitting at a 6-year-old soccer game losing your mind on your kid afterwards. That's not normal.
Tackle him!
Right? Because you had this in your head. You've created this person, right? The sport, and it's great. I love what I did, but it created this monster of what I thought my 6-year-old should be, because of this is who I was in my 30s.
Right.
Right. So this medicine helps you deal with either these traumas that some of these guys have from their past, or dealing with your own traumas that you have from your career, from things you went through, right? So you are stuck in it for this 12 hours dealing with this, right? As it rewires your brain to think about certain things, right? So a lot of it too for all of us, right? Anyone who was super competitive, like I was a failure, right? I had this failure thing, right? Because we didn't go to the playoffs ever when I played in the league. Never once made the playoffs, right? So now all of a sudden I had this huge failure complex in my own head because I wasn't able to lead this team to the playoffs.
Yeah.
Right. So you go back and you deal with those sorts of things. Like, hey, there's a lot of other reasons why this didn't work. Yeah. Right. And it's super deep, right? You can, you know, a lot of listeners are probably saying, oh, you poor guy. Right. But it's like when something in your head, right, that you can't get rid of, and you have these thoughts like his son, right? Why doesn't sound, you know, normal that why couldn't you just accept who he was, right? Well, that's not who you've created yourself. And when you have the trauma from war or from bashing heads in a football helmet, right, your brain's not thinking and working the correct way, right? So these thoughts you have aren't necessarily your fault, right? It's because of the damage you've done to your brain.
Yeah.
How much longer after you guys doing it did you realize and see results long term? Was it I did 4 or 5 doses, I did 1 dose and I was good, I did doses for a year? Kind of what was that period like for you guys?
Yeah, so typically it's a one and done.
Okay.
Really?
Typically, yeah. There are some people that go through 2-3 times, and but it's really a one and done. But it's not a panacea.
Okay.
Right. So there is a ton of work that needs to be done on the backside of it. And that's the hard part, right? Like ibogaine is not fun, but
just opens your eyes.
I mean, you're lying there for 12 hours. Guys are puking. You know, I had dry heaves 4 times during the night. You're seeing visions.
So this isn't like taking mushrooms and you're having a good time and all that kind of stuff.
No,
absolutely not. It's a ton of work. So I went in. You know, I'd gotten very dark before I found help with suicidal ideation.
Yeah.
With my rage that was out of control.
Yeah.
And I was 3-day treatment. I came home a different human being.
Yeah.
Like, not exaggerating. You talk to, listen to these veterans that have been on, the Sean Ryans of the world, the DJ Shipley, these guys, these veterans that are talking about it is all real. I came home a different person, to where my wife didn't know how to act because she was always trying to put the fires out, right? And jump on the grenades, no pun intended.
Yeah.
Because she, if the kids would spill milk, I would smash a table, right? Like stuff that didn't make sense. And now I come back and I'm laughing and like telling the kids it's okay. And
did you feel it?
I 100% felt it, right? I didn't notice it in the moment because my wife would have a reaction. So say I came home, the first day I was home and I was whipping my kids around on the floor in their pajamas, causing chaos. I hadn't done that in probably ever because that chaos in my head would set me off, would trigger me. And so I looked at her and I remember her just staring at me with her mouth open like,
she's freaking out.
Right, because it's not something that I had not done, right?
So when you have trauma like that, for me it started in childhood.
Yeah.
My father would tell me I wouldn't be good enough.
Yeah.
He told me when I went to the military that I was going to screw that up somehow too. My mother was abusive. And then you compound, you know, I don't know how many thousands of rounds I've shot, explosions.
Yeah.
It creates a lot more trauma. And the things you see and have to do,
Yeah.
it creates that trauma. And when you have that trauma, so I was diagnosed with multiple traumatic brain injuries, pretty severe PTSD, but I didn't know what was wrong with me.
Right.
I just knew I needed order. The chaos he's talking about, I would have shot somebody.
Yeah.
And you know, there was one.
But did you feed off the chaos prior to?
No, it would piss me off to no end. Like,
Okay.
just seeing a drawer left open a quarter of an inch
Set you off.
set me off.
Okay.
The
Okay.
dishwasher not loaded the right way what I thought was the right way.
Right.
Set me off. I got so dark at one point that I went in the garage and I put a gun in my mouth. I was done.
Yeah.
I'd had it. And there's nothing that could have saved me
So what did?
except the iPad.